Well, first of all, I'm an alumni of MA Code. Yeah, that's one indication how it's involved. So let's say it was designed by a MA Code alumni. And at the time that it was being designed, which was about 4 or 5 years ago, the point of reference was creating a dance piece or a dance concept, choreographic concept, in relation to Pafos, this city, bidding for European Capital of Culture. And coming from MA Code, having just actually finished, I just gave in my thesis at that time, and my thesis was about choreographing communication. My point that I would focus at that moment was group dynamics and how choreography goes beyond the work that we create. It already starts before we start creating. And the other thing is how to have a group that is very different. Each individual is very diverse, so the group feeds itself from different viewpoints, and then it becomes something beyond the group. Inspired from MA Code, and I learned a lot there concerning collective work, working creatively, and the importance of feedback. For me, that was very important, that in any group process we go, whether it's in a pedagogical environment, whether it's in a creative environment, there's always, in group dynamics, a meta level. Always. Whether we want it or not, it's there. And I find that dance is very strong because it's the non-verbal language. The meta level is the power language. It's the non-verbal. So MA Code was involved because I couldn't think of any other better way of making this project work, to be sustainable, and for the strong aspect of communication of the different disciplines.
All right, so let's go. Jump, 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 freeze,
Freeze! Let your dog freeze as well!
You were our body as well. If let's say in a classical setting that the choreographer is someone that is sitting out, which I find quite hard to work with, because it's always very nice to be within the group and feel it. Since we were one body as 3 people, it was also having very different perceptions, what is going on and how. So that feedback came through you articulating it, what you picked on, what are the needs, and so it was a good channel.
First of all, I think it's very related to the rehearsals, because what we're doing here, we're gonna do it to outside areas.
My point of view, that the morning classes and what was worked on in the morning classes fed the evening rehearsals in a way that it created a movement content and also a movement vocabulary to be shared and used in the afternoon rehearsals.
In relation to you as one of our partners, I feel anyway that this whole 1 week has been like a one instant composition, because many times things have to be delivered in a moment without really having the time to sit back and think. And I felt in that way you were also generating and contributing on that content-wise greatly, because many times we then took what you offered into consideration where to go next. So not only we were giving you guidelines, but also your response to that was co-creating the content or influencing how we relate to where we're going.
Yesterday we used
the tasks that we used yesterday, they remained. The connect away and the negative space, but they have muted from yesterday's class and from the working with the negative space yesterday in the afternoon. So it was like the hybrid of the hybrid somehow.
And integrating the freeze.
Integrating. So because we integrated more like the freeze in the today
schoolwork.
With also adding, if anything, we have add this layer of manipulating or changing the plane, like adding like the other person can do something else, not only play with the negative space.
And it's very different than that we're doing in any dancing classes, because we use voice or any other art.
It's a challenge for her to see, to observe how she can manage, how she can deal her role inside the project.
It was kind of an extension of the choreographic process. Which brings me to an interesting question, the relation between pedagogy and artistic work. There was a lot of translation happening, so from choreographic team to you, from you back to us, actually back to the dancers.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if it's a matter of perspective of what you want to bring in the space, and whatever you bring in the space can be a resonance for everything what is happening after. So I think it's a matter of what perspective you take to it, instead of fulfilling somehow something which we don't know where we see it really as a potential to influence process. How you also find it inspiring to influence it. So if one can see that as a potential, I think that's great, because it also shows the potential of what that can be in the morning. It's also more than a class in that sense.
But is there a way how to prepare a class for the totality of that collaboration?